It's Tuesday, February 13th. You're listening to Your Florida Daily. I'm Katrina Scales. Busted fences, toppled trees, and ripped up lawns, all from a police chase in a Seminole County neighborhood. It happened in Altamont Springs last week after police were called to investigate a Porsche with illegally tinted windows. When officers approached the car, they say the Porsche took off, hitting the police vehicles and speeding through a backyard. Police quickly caught the driver, Ricardo Bell, after they say he got out of the car and tried to jump a fence. He's now facing a list of criminal charges, including for drugs police say they found inside the car. Bell is behind bars, and so is Holly Kelly, the woman who was in the car with him. A Florida cold case is being featured on an HBO documentary. They Called Him Mostly Harmless documents the case of a man found dead inside a tent in Cypress National Reserve in 2018. Along with the body, detectives found hiking gear, notebooks, and more than $3,000 cash inside the tent, but the man had no phone, credit card, or any sort of ID. It took the Collier County Sheriff's Office more than 2 years and the help of internet sleuths to identify the man as Vance Rodriguez. Investigators learned he introduced himself to other hikers as Denim and Mostly Harmless on the Appalachian and Florida trails. Turns out he was previously an IT worker in New York with ties to Louisiana. The HBO documentary looks at his inconclusive cause of death and explores why he was never reported missing. And a big honor for one of the Orlando Magic's most famous players. Tonight, the team will officially retire the number 32 in honor of Shaquille O'Neal. No other Magic player has had a number retired, but those who know him say that's because there hasn't been another player like Shaq.
If you met Shaq once, you understand why so many people love him, why every teammate that's ever played with him supports him, because his heart is just as big as his body.
Shaq's jersey will be hoisted into the rafters at the Kia Center, formerly known as the Amway, during a ceremony following the Magic's game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Find these top stories along with breaking news, weather, and traffic all day on clickorlando.com. And now, a completely random Florida fact. A shipping shortcut that would have linked the Atlantic Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico through the heart of Florida wasn't just a dream. It was more than a quarter of the way completed before being abandoned. The Cross Florida Barge Canal, or often referred to as the Ditch of Dreams, would have cut more than 600 miles off the route around the Florida Keys using a series of 5 locks. It was more than a quarter of the way complete when President Richard Nixon stopped construction of the project. Despite $75 million being spent, local citizens and environmentalist groups helped bring the project to an early end. Shout out to News 6 digital journalist Jacob Langston for that one. Your Florida Daily is produced by News 6 WKMG in Orlando. I'm Katrina Scales. Subscribe for new episodes wherever you like to listen.